Good evening, everybody. How is everyone tonight? And hello to anybody who's watching this on playback. I hope everyone is keeping well. Let's get caught up on the chat, see who's in. Thanks to Jason there for the handover. Let's see who we've got in. We have Brian Madden. Good evening, Brian. How are you doing? Tom Houston. I think there was someone above Brian there. I can't see the chat at the moment. Yes, Joshua, W56 Gaming. Good evening, Joshua. How are you doing? Tom Houston Model Rail, President XD Locomotive Shed. Brian from Lemington Central Model Railway. Good evening, sir. Gary from Leicester Station and TMD. Anthony Middleport Junction. Mick 92. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. Graham at Lemington Station. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath. I think I've already said that. Joanne Swanipole Swannies. I hope I pronounced that right. Good evening, guys. Hope you're all keeping well. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you're new here. Got any questions, put them into the chat or the comments if you're watching this afterwards. Tonight, we're just having a little bit of a running session. I got a couple of trains running on the two loops. You'll notice I've got my Coca-Cola DMU running up and down on the winter layout. I was hoping I would have all this out of here by this week. But the past week has been hectic. Nothing's gone to plan. Everything's fallen apart on me this week. I have no video out tomorrow because the video I was shooting for release, complete disaster. Everything broke. Nothing would work. Recorded half of it without any sound, so I have to go back and redo it all. So unfortunately, no video tomorrow. I'll get it out next week. So tonight, what I thought we would do is I've made some icicles to go on the sort of edges of the roofs and that sort of thing. I'll show you how I've made them, and we'll get and stick those on. I'm going to switch this off a minute. I think this needs a bit of a service, although it hasn't ran that much. Probably a bit of snow or something's got into the mechanism. There's a bit of a screech coming off it sometimes, so it probably needs a good clean. Simon's got a question. What did you think of Glenties? Yeah, it's lovely. I've seen that before. It's a brilliant little layout of Glenties. That's on, obviously, the Glenties branch line. There is actually a bit of that track restored from Fintown heading towards Glenties for about 3 miles. And you will find Railcar 18 running on that during the summer. It's a lovely part of the world, very scenic. Glenties is a lovely little town. Been there many a times. Good evening, Leslie. How are you doing? Flymo Chairman, good evening. J94 Kieran, good evening. Delph Junction, Pete, good evening. And hi to anyone else who popped in while I wasn't keeping an eye on the chat. You're all very welcome. I hope you're all keeping well. As I said, hit the like button for me. Put any questions in the comments. If I miss any questions, just keep posting it, or one of my moderators will flag it to me or let me know. Oh yes, I put my phone down with the chat on it. Let me just... Mick92, good evening, sir. Special thank you and welcome to all the latest channel members who've joined up. I've had an influx of them over the last couple of weeks on channel membership on Patreon. It's very much welcome. Video coming out soon on what I'll show you what your money has been going to from people who just watch the videos, and I get the ad revenue and channel members contributions and the odd donation I've had on PayPal. I've been able to put the money towards purchasing 3 of these that will go onto the layouts. I've also had a kind donation of one of them from one of my channel members, from Brian, who's in the chat, to celebrate the birth of his granddaughter. So he's got one. So we have here little Kerr Stewart 060. It's a maroon color, not quite the Drumbo red, but it's a tank engine similar to what would have ran on the Donegal Railway. So I think on the layouts it'll look quite good. with having 6 wheels and better pickups on it, it should run quite well. Am I holding that on the camera? So I was able to purchase 3 of these, and also kind donations, I said, from Brian of another one. So we've got 4 of these that I need to run in and get ready for putting on the layouts in the railway. So thanks to everyone who supports the channel, either by just being a subscriber and watching, or being a channel member, or giving the odd donation, the super chat, or whatever like that. That's what your money's going towards. So I was able to put some of that money towards that. And also the other things that I've built on the railway, which I will be putting a video together on all that, so you can see exactly where the money's been spent. Because I've been keeping a record of the money that comes in, where it comes from, and where it's going to be spent. You know, it just enables me to buy bits and pieces to build new layouts for the museum, and also for the upkeep of the existing layouts and buying new rolling stock. So let me just get back to the chat a minute. Happy birthday for Donegal daughter last week. Yes, we had a good evening last week. Because she's a big Christmas fan, we actually decorated part of the house. We all wore Christmas jumpers, and we celebrated that way. Family came around, a few friends, and we ordered a Chinese, and we had a Chinese in, and we had a great evening. My chat seems to have frozen for some reason, so I have no idea what's... Hi, Route 7, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Somebody, is that the Irish Rail Class 121 running slowly around? Yes, indeed it is. That's Murphy's model Class 121 running around there. Let me just go back. I know Alan Reynolds, Buckland Junction. Good evening, Alan. How are you doing? Moneybrook Junction, good evening. Just subscribed. Thanks very much, Moneybrook. I hope you're keeping well. Yeah, I've noticed this time of year, obviously the nights are getting dark. People are returning to their railway hobby for the winter. The subscriber count goes double, triples what it normally is. The ad revenue goes up, so it's all very much appreciated. I think I passed 3,500 subscriptions today, so onwards and upwards. Oh, Moreland Model Railway Andy, good evening Andy, how are you doing? And again, hi to anyone I've missed in the chat and I haven't said hello to. Keep your questions coming. I'll keep the chat somewhere, try and keep an eye on it. I'm going to stop that, the 121 Coca-Cola DMU now. I'm going to switch the power off on that. I'll leave the lights on. I don't know if the screeching noise has been picked up by the mic as it goes past, but it is a little bit annoying. Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? So, icicles. First off, shall I give you a little tour of this winter, or we can say it now, Christmas layout? Let me just take the camera off. It's going to be a little bit of shaky camera work now. I'll show you what I've done. Oh, did I just disconnect it? Yes, I did. Bear with me a minute, guys. Oh, excuse me. Right. Okay. So we've got this end. The main man himself has arrived at the station. And I've added some of the sheep I've flocked. Also, we got some reindeer on there. And you may notice this little guy. These are from the Antarctica. So there's 5 penguins on this layout. So again, that'll be something for the kids to find. I've got some polar bears on the way. So they're going to be sort of hidden around the layout. So when it's there, the kids can stop and look at it, and they have to try and find, count how many sheep there are, try and find how many penguins there are. That sort of fun little thing. We go down here, a little sheep down there. And we've got the waterfalls. And of course, we have the Coca-Cola van, all coated in snow, all over the windscreen. Another little penguin down here. And then we've got little lads having a snowball fight. And then we've got some people out doing their shopping on the platform. And a little, you see that there, little post box? Of course, in Ireland, they're green, so I painted up green. I got that when I was over visiting Jason there, also a couple of months ago now. So I just painted that up. Well, actually, my daughter painted that up. She's done a very good job of it. I can't claim credit for that. And we got the town Christmas tree. So that's the little diorama. And of course, we have the working signals now, which are off because I've switched the train off. Let's put the camera back up there. Now I'll just go back on the chat, see if I missed anything. I'm glad you've not been drinking when you said you flocked the sheep. Yes, you got to be very careful how you say that. Yes, Coca-Cola van, the holidays are coming. Yeah, I've got, I think all the sort of Coke livery stuff that Hornby's produced. I think I've got most of it. I know Jason has as well because I think he's a fan of collecting it as well. He's got all of them. I've got the Christmas tree carrier, the giant Coke bottle, the different wagons. I've got the Coca-Cola little 040 steam engine. So love the lights you put on that old loco. Which, what the lights in the DMU or? You like the river under the viaduct? Yeah, it actually came out quite well in the end. What I actually need to do is I need to actually put, there needs to be some light. Of course, it's quite dark, this room. There's no overhead light, so when it's in the museum, it'll be a bit different. But because when you look down through the viaduct, it's actually quite dark. So a light over there will help illuminate it. It's still November, yeah, but once Halloween's out of the way, that's it. You're full bore into Christmas. 1st of November, that's it. As I say, I was hoping to have this finished. I've cut one of the panels for this side to go on there. Didn't get the second side done because I was hoping on Wednesday that I would have taken this down to the museum and it could have sat in there out of the way, but just didn't happen. So and tonight's refreshment is the old Lidl Freeway Ginger Ale. Directional light, Steve, put on the mark 30. Oh, right, okay. Sorry. That's what happens when you're only half keeping an eye on the chat. Yeah, as Lottie says, hit the like button for me, guys. Thanks very much. I think I had a record number in the chat last week. I think it was about 55 or something. I don't think I've ever had it that high. So you're all very welcome. I say, if there's any questions, pop them in the chat. Right, let's have a look at the icicles. So what I've got here is a old mirror, and I've taken some of the water effects. Basically put a dab of it on there, then using a cocktail stick, just making little lines of it so they sort of look like icicles. So I'm going to peel them off, and then I'm going to pour out some of this again and use this to stick the icicles along the edge. We'll just see how they look. Try to make different sizes and shapes of icicles, but we'll put them on and just see how they look. So I'm going to squeeze some of that out first, because basically then that will hold the icicle in place and should dry clear as well. And I have my set of tweezers. Again, these tweezers came from Lidl. Nice pack of different sizes, types of tweezers. I think it would have been no more than a tenner this. And they're very handy, having all the different shapes. So let's try and peel them off. It's always very hard to judge these, how long they are. And just dip the end in there, and then it's sticking to the tweezer. I tried this the other day and it worked perfectly. Of course, when the camera's on, different matter. Let's try a different set of tweezers, I think. Okay, now it's sticking to my finger. No, it wants to stick to the tweezers, so it must be the temperature in here, or the fact it's still not fully cured. Yeah, it's not good. Try and put it on by hand. Have I got any different? What you really need is like a wooden pair of tweezers that don't. If I actually warm these tweezers up a little bit. You guys just carry on talking amongst yourselves while I'm arguing with a... Right, well, there's one icicle. It's not actually... I think what I'll have to do is let that... Oh, it's not too bad. So I'll let you have a little look at that on the camera. I imagine a few of them along. I'm not sure if that is being picked up. So I'll put a few more across and then we'll see how it all looks. Let me just check the comments. Got all the thumbs up, thanks guys. Yeah, I've seen that, Andy, putting a little bit on there and dubbing it down so it makes sort of a nice effect on it. How am I getting on with the West Hill Wagon Works track setters? They're good for the price. The problem I find with them is, because I've obviously got the metal track setters, which are quite stiff and sturdy. I just find let me get them out because I have them over here. So that's what we're on about here. Is we got various, these from West Hill Wagon Works track setters, different radius curves. They're quite good. The problem is they're a little bit flexible, and I find sometimes when you're putting them on the curve, because they flex, they pop out. Would I recommend them? Yes, I would recommend them. The track, when you think a full set of track setters are about 90 quid, whereas these are 25, and they work fine. I say they're a little bit flexible, but they do the job. And I'm quite happy with them. I'm going to be using them. I'm not going to buy any more of the track setters because I think I've got 2 radius track setters and the straight one, but they work fine. Oh, there's the side of the box. Oh, Clive's in. Hi, Clive. How you doing? The flexibility can be useful. What are we talking about now, Brian? Oh, Steve, Route 7, I'm popping out for a late tea. Anything nice? Yeah, so they are great. They do flex a bit, but I'm quite happy with them. I'm going to use them for building this layout. I think for the price, you can't go wrong. A lot of the stuff West Hill Wagon Works is really good. All the stuff they make. The bins that I put on, they're West Hill Wagon Works. These little guys there. I put them straight on it. They're printed in black. I didn't even bother painting them. I just stuck them straight on the layout. Anyway, back to saw something moving out of the corner of my eye then, but it was the train going around the track. Oh dear. What I need is a skewer. It's sticking more to my finger than it is where I want it to. This is one of these fiddly jobs that you try not to swear a lot doing. And you ask yourself, is this worth it? Because you'll find yourself, people will be looking at you and going, oh, what do you think of the icicles? And I'm like, oh, they're all right. And you'll be like, they took me hours to do. You know, I tried this the other day and it worked fine. No problem at all. Now these are just sticking everywhere. Well, sticking everywhere except where they're supposed to. There we go. Another one on. They are curling a bit, but once they've dried and stuck into place, I'll give them a gentle tug to straighten them out a bit. Thanks very much, Steve, Route 7 Railway, for the super chat there. Thanks very much for that. Andy says it is worth it. Oh, Flymo chairman's on it now as well. Thank you very much, Flymo. Yeah, this would be a lot easier if they didn't stick to the tweezers. Maybe I need to pull the icicles off and let them dry, because they seem to stick to the tweezers more than anything else. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I've got the fire lit in here tonight because it was a bit cold. Oh, that's it. Maybe we're getting there now. Oh, Lemington Station's on it now, 290. Thanks very much, guys. Very much appreciated. I'll say all the money raised on here goes to keeping and maintaining the layouts in Donegal Railway Heritage Museum, and getting bits and pieces like those engines, and one of them kindly donated by Brian. Charlie's in the house. Hi, Charlie. How's it going? I'm not going to put them all the way along, because I think that'll look a bit off. So we'll just put a few sort of either end. If I wanted to stick them to my fingers, they wouldn't do it. If I wasn't on a live stream, I'd be swearing a lot right now. Right, I'll just show you what I've done. They're sort of sticking at funny angles at the moment, but once they have dried and stuck into place, then I can get them all to point down then. If you can see that there, it's coming out. One on the end there. So once the so tomorrow, once the water effect has gone off and I haven't glued my fingers together, then I can just stretch them to point down. But they don't look too bad. The thing with doing this is you got to think, where would their snow be? Where would their ice be? I've put snow on everything, I think, but there's probably something there should be snow on that I've missed. But I'm going to hang a few icicles on both signal boxes, a couple on the front of the halts, and I think that's it. I don't think there'll be any on the houses because they're in the street and they would have heat coming out of them, if you know what I mean. So they probably wouldn't appear there too much. But we'll just carry on with that. Let me just go back onto the chat, see if I missed anything. What's on my Santa wish list? Are you talking about for the museum or my personal one? Because for the museum, it would be about 9 miles of track bed to Latham track. That's, I mean, proper track bed, not model track bed. You love the crackle in the background. Yeah, is the are you actually picking up the crackle from the fire? Let me just turn the camera around so you can see the fire. You see that? No, there's a pillow in the way. It's like one of those scenes you get on YouTube, like 12 hours of Christmas fire crackling in the background. My Santa sock. Well, I have well, you've already seen, I have what was it? Class 57 and a Class 66. That was bought for me at Getz. They're already in my stocking. There's also a second-hand Class 4 Helgen Class 47, grey, large logo, red stripe, coming to me that my daughter picked up for me. So I've got 3 locos coming to me, and to be honest, I'm quite happy with that. Really what I want is time to sit in here and build my layout. I was hoping to be further along than this, but of course, you know, life gets in the way. Andy Dobson, good evening, sir. How are you keeping? All I need now is the bar. Yeah. I don't drink that often, so a couple of glasses and that'll be me gone. I'd be asleep under the layout. You know what, I can actually take this off. That'll make it a little bit easier for attaching them. Said he, hopefully. No, they just want to stick to my fingers more than anything else. Where did I put? Oh, that's gone. Oh, yes, you were on there about DVDs. Charlie did send me a load of DVDs. They were all on Irish stuff, Irish narrow gauge, mainline stuff. They were great DVDs. Actually, one of them is obviously because it was they had the Londonderry Lost Swilly on there and the Donegal Railway. So that is playing on a video in the museum. One. Remember, less is more. Yeah, so the video that was supposed to be out tomorrow was on the buffer stops for this layout. Taking the Hornby ones, painting them up, a little bit of light weathering, adding snow to them and putting a light in them. But this week, I'm afraid everything just went pear-shaped on me. Now we're cooking. So don't forget about the moderator awards, or I'm sure one of the mods there can stick the link up to that. Get your applications in. They're on until 30th of November. Put your nominations forward for moderator. Sponsored by West Hill Wagon Works. Christopher's Hobby Vlog. Good evening, Christopher. How are you doing? Too much partying. Yeah, that could be it, yeah. Or maybe not enough partying. I feel myself getting all sticky. I'm beginning to think this was a bad idea. Normally don't like these fiddly little modeling jobs. But there's a few icicles on there. They're not straight at the moment. As I say, when they dry, I'll sort of pull them straight. Oh, you can't even see the one that's on that end. It is there. So I only want to put a few on. You don't want loads of icicles. Yeah, well, I thought they'd dried out because I'd done this like a week ago. So I thought they should be dry. But what I'm thinking, Andy, is I'll peel them off of here and leave them on some paper or something to dry out even further. Eggnog and Guinness. Oh, eggnog, yes, and Guinness, yes, but not like Guinness with an eggnog chaser, no. Flymo's put the link up for the moderator nominations. Very good, Christopher. You're getting cracking on with your layout. Seeing guys drinking Murphy's with a shot of Bailey's in it. Oh. Oh. Shows bad plumbing on the gutters if there are too many. I don't think people will be worried about that. 4 eggs and vinegar. Hangover. Oh, dear. No. I actually can't remember the last time I had a hangover. It's a good while ago. Brian just sent me a message there. The answer to your message there is no, not yet, because I have to travel across to the border to post it, because it's a lot cheaper if I post it from Northern Ireland as it is from the Republic here. So it'll be going off. I was hoping to get it done this week, but things have been going right this week. So it will be hopefully Monday, because the plan is to head up there Monday to do some shopping. So I'll take it with me and get it posted then. Yeah, plenty of the regulars in tonight. It's good to see a couple of new names as well popping in as well. As I say, I've had a lot of subscribers and I've had a lot of questions come up on the live on different videos and asking questions. As I say to them, come in here to the live stream, pop the question into the chat. If I don't see it or don't answer, I'm sure some of the guys in here, regular guys, would answer it. One of the questions I got asked was looking for recommendations on a DCC controller. And I said, well, it really depends what you're going to be using it for. And anybody who's looking for a DCC controller, I would advise them, if they've got a local club, go to that, ask questions, go to one of their local shows, see all the different layouts and what people are using, and just ask the pros and cons of them. I still haven't decided which system I'm going to be going for. Like, I'm using the Hornby Railmaster at the moment, and I know Graham, who's listening or watching in the background, I was actually speaking to them today, and he's having a few issues with it. It can be a bit temperamental, and I don't know whether Hornby are actually still supporting it or not. Yes, we did have a lovely evening, Pete. It was a nice evening, just friends and family around, and had a Chinese. Good evening, Barry Walker. How you doing, Barry? How's things? Hope you're keeping well, mate. Yeah, so in this winter layout, the kids will have to find the polar bears when they come. I'm getting them next week, hopefully. Penguins, there's 5 penguins hidden on the layout, so they have to find those. And they'll find the polar bears. There's also the deer roaming around and the sheep. The sheep I actually flocked using 0.5mm WWS snow. I made a mistake first, and I used the 2mm. I'm not sure if I got some of those sheep around here somewhere to show you. They look like they've been electrocuted. It was the 0.5mm I should have used. Where did I put them? Oh yeah, down here with the animals. Oh, focus. I don't know if it's picking that up, but they're a little bit too spiky, so they look like they've stepped on a live wire. Very hairy sheep, yeah. Looks like a polar bear, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get, when I get the polar bears, because a friend of my daughter's has got a 3D printer and has a license with somebody to print off animals. She did say she can print them off in all sorts of scales. And I think she does have an Instagram or something. Nicola was to give me the details so I can pass it on to you guys. If you want anything, you'll be able to get it from her. She'll 3D print it and post it out. Resting stuck away. Yeah, could be, yeah. Okay, Pete, you take care. I'll catch you next time. Poor Sean, what did the nasty man do? Show me on the dolly where he touched you. Yeah. Right, I'm just sticking a few more of these on. Yeah, I'm not going to do too many of these because it'll drive me mad. Nobody's going to notice them anyway. As I almost stabbed myself in the eye with a skewer. Oh, Charlie's off. See you, Charlie. Take care, mate. As he said there, if anybody's interested in the DVDs, drop him a line. Just drop him a message on Facebook or on his channel. Oh, actually, I haven't checked. Those trains still running? Yeah, they're still going around. So these are the only ones I've run on here so far because I just got, they were at the top of the box. They came out and they were run. And resisting the temptation of, because otherwise I'll get everything out and everything will be in boxes and piled around the place. And that's when stuff can get damaged because you're having a good old play. Right, there we go. Right, I think that's enough icicles for now. I'll put a few on here as well. Take those lids off. Afternoon, good evening, sir. How are you keeping? The Flemmer, the ones that he sent me, I don't think they were region locked. As I know, one of the ones he sent me was actually one that Donegal Railway had produced back in the 90s. And it was particularly put out so it wouldn't be region locked, so anybody in the world could see it. Sorry guys, sorry I'm quiet. Still haven't mastered talking and doing something at the same time. There's a couple of icicles on there. Back on. Right, I think that'll do. Won't need more than that on, I don't think. Okay, back to the chat if I missed anything. Those trains must be on authentic CIE settings, very sporadic. That might be my track laying more than the trains. Oh, 3 steam trains this Saturday. Oh. What are they going to be, Leslie? How's the layout doing? Well, I've been spending most of my time on the winter layout, the Christmas layout. So I've been working on most of the time. The actual main layout, there's just 2 loops of track down. That's as far as I've got so far. I need to get the track down. The incline's done. There's no track on it yet. Need to get the rest of the track done. Then put in the sleepers, solder on the sleepers so I can cut the track between the different sections. And then once I do that, I can take it apart. I can then lift these boards up, which will make it easier for wiring in the point motors and do all the wiring, and put it all down, make sure it all fits together. Okay. And then I'll just test it for a month or 2, run different trains around it, make sure I'm happy with it, and then build the scenic level. So it's going to be next spring before I start doing any scenics, I think, because it's going to take me a while to get the track down and make sure I'm happy with it and make sure it works, and I can take it apart and put it together. Oh, very good point there, Andy. For UK modelers wanting DCC controllers, it's worth visiting DigiTrains and Linking, where they have all the systems and let you have a go with them. That's good to know. Flymer's there, put a link up to Charlie's channel there. Okay, Brian, take care. I'll let you know when that item's in the post, all right? So if anybody wonders what's actually running around there, it's a Murphy's Model Irish Rail Class or 121, pulling a couple of UK, well, it's a Mark III and a Mark IV intercity coach. And we have a 3-car Class 108 DMU going around on the other line. So these are sort of my using these carriages here because they're the longest ones I have to see if they go around the curves all right. And I notice already on the curve over here in this corner, when they're passing each other, they do tap off each other. So I'm going to have to do something about the curve there, widen it out a little bit. But other than that, the rest of the curves seem okay. Right. Let's check the phone for messages because I put it on silent. Right. So really on this winter layout, what I got left to do is put the polar bears on. It's not something you say every day. Put the fascia on the front. I'm going to actually swap out the old Lima controller I've got in there because it's just not smooth enough for the shuttle. And it's like it goes off little notch to pocket rocket. So I'm going to use the Gauge Master, which is a much smoother controller. I'll wire that up once I get it to the museum. And that'll be that. There's not much more I can do on it. As I say, put on the fronts, paint the fascia and everything, add the polar bears and hook up the Gauge Master controller. And then it'll sit in the museum why we have our Santa weekends over the last 2 weekends before Christmas. We're doing over the Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Now the big man himself will be there, and we'll have lots of activities for kids to do in the museum. We have it decorated really nice, the lights on and everything. It looks really well. They come in at one end of the museum and they work their way down through various rooms where there's things for them to do in each room. Like this will be in one room and they'll have to find the penguins and the polar bears and all that sort of thing on it. And then move into another room where we have usually a card making station for coloring and that sort of thing. And then they go into the next room where all the layouts are and watch them and try again, find things on the layouts, and then go out and see the big man himself. And then they can finish it off with a look around Drumbo, the steam engine. So that'll be our Christmas weekends. Really busy weekends. A lot going on there. So it might be during December, there might be less videos coming out than normal because I'll be chock-a-block. December is a very, very busy month for me personally, with having 6 kids and also working in the museum. So it's fairly busy. I have about 500 moderators. I voted for them all. You realize I have to count all that, Anthony, when it comes through. Will the polar bears be on a Fox's Glacier Mint? No. Oh, dear. Yeah, so Slimehouse put up there. Check out the Facebook page for the Heritage Centre. Or, sorry, Donegal Railway Museum, I think we're rebranding ourselves as. Or Heritage Museum. I think it's Donegal Railway Heritage Museum. So, well, it's coming up to 8:30. I'm going to say goodbye now in a few minutes because my throat is a bit sore, to be honest. So I'm not going to stay on any longer than that. So, today I was feeling a bit under the weather. Hi, Tom. Well, the light that's in the signal box is actually a flicker bulb. It's to flicker to give effect. I also have flicker lights in the, so anybody who's joined, I'll just give you a little tour down it. So we have the man himself there, little orange glow flicker light in the little station halt. And up there we have some deer, sheep, a penguin, and flicker lights in there. Now, one thing to remember with these lights is they do actually appear a lot brighter on camera than they actually are. And we've got the waterfalls in there, the river. We've got the little snow ice effect there, which actually didn't come out too bad. And we got the Coca-Cola van there with snow on it. And the trees again. More deer there. I have to get a little log to put underneath him there, so it looks like he's actually jumping over something instead of just, I suppose I had a little sleigh I can put it behind him. Looks like he's taking off. And we got a little boys having an old snowball fight. And we go into the town area. You can see I put the tracks in the snow there, and we got the Christmas tree and again a flicker lights in the buildings. And so we have the black fishes to put on here, paint black, and then it's more or less ready to go. And there's a whole video series on building this from the baseboard up, so you can watch how I done all of it. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out. It's using WW Scenic's snow effect and some of the Woodland Scenic snowflakes as well. A few little bits from Trains for You. Is it Trains for You? Or Layouts for You, that's it. And Metcalfe buildings and everything. So it's all come together. It looks quite nice. Once the face is on it and it's in the museum, it should look really good. It's going to go on display in the museum. There is a show next weekend, I think, in Down, and if it will fit in the back of my car, I might ring them and say, look, do you want me to bring this up? So, because they may have space, or they might be fully booked already. So I could do that. But there's no plans to take it anywhere at the moment. I mean, it's just over 8 foot long, so it should fit into my car. I've got an estate car, so it should fit into there with the seats down. So don't forget the moderators nominations. So I'm going to sign off there now. So good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new here. All those things YouTubers say. And thank you to my channel members and everything. There'll be a video coming out in a couple of weeks on those little locos that your money went towards purchasing, and all the other bits and pieces. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you all next week. Thanks to Jason for the handover. And I will see you all next week, hopefully, all being well. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you all next week. Bye, everyone.